don't know, maybe we should do that. Let's see. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Wednesday night's yoga. Usually it's yin. We're doing gentle tonight. We're just gonna do we'll do a little yin where we hold poses. When we get to the deep stretching, we'll hold them a little longer. But we're gonna do a little movement for now with our gentle yoga. So when you're ready, come to your back. If you're not already, and just let yourself arrive there. You can bend your knees if you need to. You don't have to be flat. You can butterfly your legs. Find somewhere where you're comfortable for the first few moments. Allow yourself to arrive. Let your breath take over. Let it draw you to full focus on your mat, your practice. Let it draw you to full presence on your mat, your practice. Because we're doing some flow and some movement tonight, we are going to start, once you've got that focus on your breath, to add an element of control to your breath. Just close your mouth. Start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. See if you can let your breaths become longer, slower, deeper. So as you inhale, pulling that breath all the way down into your belly. And as you exhale, pushing it all the way out. That's just going to let us move here, just with one breath, one movement. Few more breaths here. And then back in through the nose, out through the nose. From there, take your knees and just hug them into your chest. Now we're going to curl into just a tight little ball at first. It means you're going to pull those knees into your chest. Let your head and shoulders lift. Down your forehead toward your knees. Just take a few breaths there. And then as you exhale here, let yourself come all the way down. And then you're going to take your left leg, extend it long. Just take your right knee, keep it hugged in to your chest. A little bit here, just on the camera. All right, so you're hugging that right knee in. Give it a nice big squeeze. Maybe lift your head and shoulders here. Draw your knee toward your nose. Let your head and shoulders lift. And then let your head and shoulders come all the way down. Now you're going to kick that right leg straight up to the sky. right hand to the inside of your right knee. So you're reaching towards your right foot, right? Maybe you're not grabbing it now, that's okay, right? Bend in to that right knee, and then maybe you can grab the outside edge of your right foot with your right hand. So reaching it from the inside. Now you want to press that left leg down. See, I'm kind of sloppy with my left leg and it's coming way up. I'm going to press that left thigh bone to the ground. I'm going to drive that left heel into the ground as I pull my right foot. Put that deep bend in the right knee, right? It's not straight. Bringing that right knee towards the ground outside your right shoulder. And if you pull hard enough, it would hit the ground. It's not going to. That's okay. Okay? Take a couple breaths right here. Now from here, start to draw that right foot over. You're going to drop your right foot down on top of your left thigh and let your right knee fall open. So you're making that figure 4 here with your legs, just like we would do if we were coming in to an eye of the needle, which we're going to do eventually here. But right now, you're just laying here. You can keep your hands at your sides. If it makes it better for you, you can take your arms out wide in that T position. What you're going to do here now, you're going to peel that left leg up off the ground and lift both legs straight up to the sky, right? So you've still got your right ankle crossed over your left knee, so that right knee's falling out to the side and that left leg goes straight up. And then as you exhale, let that left leg come back down. So see, I'm keeping my left foot flexed the whole time. Right, drop your left heel to the ground. Right, just do that 3 more times. As you inhale, pull that left foot up, point the left heel towards the ceiling, and exhale, take it down. Let that left heel touch the ground. Do it twice more. Lift up. Come back down. Lift up. And come back down. Now, as you come down here, keep your right ankle where it is. It should be just above your left knee. So if you need to make that adjustment, make it, right? Then bend into your left knee and put your left foot on the ground. Now we're in that eye of the needle position. Now you can come to a full eye of the needle here if you want. If it feels better just to stay right here with your foot on the ground, you can. Otherwise, you start to pull that left foot up off the ground, bringing both thighs towards you. You can take your right hand here to the inside of your left thigh and your left hand to the outside of your left thigh and release them together. Hold those knees in. If you lifted your left foot up and you want to kick that left leg straight again, you can. If you want to keep it bent here, keep it bent. Let yourself feel that sensation in the right hip. So just take about 2 or 3 breaths right here. Now release behind that right thigh. Left thigh. Take the left foot to the ground. And now you're going to take your right foot off. You're going to extend your right leg all the way along. So your right heel's on the ground, pressing that right thigh bone into the ground. Take the left knee, hug it in to your chest, right? Just hug it in nice and tight at first. Again, you can lift your head and shoulders and push your nose towards your left knee if that feels okay. If you want to keep it more relaxed, that's fine too. And then from there, you're going to take right hand to your right side. Take that left hand to the inside of your left foot, right? So you're going to kick that left foot up, letting that left hand be along the inside. Bend your left knee enough so that you can grab the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand, right? And then you're pulling that knee down. So you might have to have a big bend in your knee before you can even grab your foot. It's okay, right? We don't want to be straight. We want to be bent, like you're trying to drive that left knee outside your left shoulder. Half happy baby. Just stay here for 2 or 3 breaths. Again, think about that right leg. Really push that right thigh bone down to the ground. Now, release that left foot. You want your left ankle to come on top of your right thigh. That left knee's falling open, right? It might come to the ground. My right knee did. My left knee doesn't. It's okay, right? It's just above my left knee, right? Now we're going to do those lifts again. You can keep your hands at your sides while we do the lifts, or you can take your arms out long. You're going to peel that right leg off the floor. You're keeping your right leg straight. Just kicking that right foot straight up to the sky. Flex your right foot, right heel towards the ceiling. Keep your right foot flexed the whole time. As it comes down, you're just lowering down enough to feel that right heel tap the ground. Do it 3 more times, right? Inhale, lift up, exhale, let it come down. Inhale, lift it up, exhale, let it come down. Do it time, as you float down, you're going to keep your right leg where it is. You're going to bend into your right knee, put your right foot on the ground. So now you're in that full figure four here, either needle position. If you want to stay right here and chill, you can. If you want to make this more over the left hip a little bit, then you pick the left foot up and draw it in towards your body. You slide that right hand, or left hand to the inside of your right thigh, right hand to the outside of your right thigh. And release your hands behind the right thigh, pull it towards you. Kick that right leg up to the sky again. Like I said, you don't have to grab your thigh at all, you can just keep your right foot on the ground. All different variations here. Play with it, find what feels good to you, and then just hang out there for like 3 more breaths. All right, now from here, you're going to release behind that right thigh. Let your right foot come down to the ground. Bring the left foot to join it. Now just hug both knees into your chest again. You're going to take your hands to the crease of your knees. We're going to rock ourselves all the way up here into a seated position. Now, come from your seated position, just come right around into your tabletop. So you're going to bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. We're going to take a couple cat-cows right here just to get our body and breath in perfect sync. So as you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky, tuck your tailbone under, let your belly drop, that's cow pose. And as you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, round at your back, hollow out your armpits, that's cat. Just gonna keep moving here. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Use this time, just kind of match your movement with your breath. Find the natural rhythm of your own breath. Let those movements be in sync with that. Take a few more rounds here. And then we're going to meet back in neutral tabletop. Now, as we come to neutral tabletop, now you're going to tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. Come into your first down dog of the morning here. Set your fingers spread wide like starfish. With that pointer finger at the front of the mat, you're pushing your belly towards your upper thighs. You can add some movement here if you want to. Maybe you bend one knee and the other, press that opposite heel towards the ground. You're gonna walk in dog. Nice stretch in the opposite calf. If it feels good, keep doing it. If not, you can stay still, or maybe you just want to move your hips from side to side. Whatever you're doing, just check in with your body, see what's going on. Make sure you're listening to your body. You know what it needs as we go through the rest of our practice. Now from here, you're going to bend your knees and look between your thumbs. Bring your feet forward, your hands. Come to forward fold. Right, so now your belly's touching your upper thighs. Your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Make sure there's no creases in the back of your neck. Now as we inhale here, we're just going to take a half lift into monkey. Pull your shoulders even with your hips. Right, so now your back is flat. The crown of your head is pointed forward. As you exhale here, fold back down, belly to thighs, crown the head towards the mat. This time as we inhale, we're going to take a big reverse swan dive, and you're going to come all the way up to standing. I'm going to step just a little bit back here so you can see me. All right, as you exhale here, just take your right hand, drop it to your right side. Let those right fingertips slide down your thigh. Take that left hand, reach it up and over. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, let's go the other way. Drop that left hand. Reach the right hand up and over. Inhale, come back up to center. Now this time as you exhale, sweep your hands back behind you. Interlace them behind your back. So you're pulling your shoulder blades together. You're pushing your knuckles towards the floor. Let that take you right into a back bend. Push your hips forward. Take your chest, your gaze up to the ceiling. And as you inhale, stand tall. Now as you exhale, you're going to hinge at the hip. Let the hands lift up and off your low back. So you're bringing it back down to a forward fold, but you're taking your hands with you, right? They're still interlaced behind your back. Maybe you're lifting them way up and off your low back if that's open to you. Maybe they're going to rest a little bit. It's okay. Right, now we're going to take a little twist from here. So you're going to take your right foot, press it all the way straight. Put a little bend in your left knee. Drop your left shoulder towards your left knee. Take your right shoulder up to the sky. There you go. Now you're going to switch it out. Push your left leg all all the way straight. Bend into your right knee, drop your right shoulder toward your right knee, and open that left shoulder up to the sky. And then push both legs straight, let the crown of your head come towards the mat here. Maybe lift your hands up one more time. And then release the hands, drop them right in front of your feet. That was the whole sun salutation, moving our spine in all those different directions. We're going to do it twice more here. All right, so inhale, take a half lift monkey. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing. And then as you exhale, drop your right hand, reach up and over with your left hand. I'm going the wrong way side here, I'm missing all that. Drop your right hand, reach up and over the left. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I don't. Tonight I'm not, sometimes I forget. All right, come back up to center. Now we're going to drop the left hand and reach across with the right. It doesn't matter, right? As long as you do both sides. Take both hands up to the sky. Now scoop them around behind you. Interlace them behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together behind your back. Take your back bend. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, hinge at the hip. Lift your hands up and off your low back. Come all the way down to your fold. Now you're going to press that the right leg straight. Bend into your left knee. Drop your left shoulder towards your left knee. So you're opening up the right shoulder. Twisting to the right. Then push your left leg straight. Bend into your right knee. Drop your right shoulder towards your right knee. Open up that left shoulder. Take it back to center. Lift your hands up and off your low back. And then release your hands down to the mat. Let's do that one more time through. Inhale, half lift to monkey. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up. Now, we're going to exhale. We're going to drop the right hand. Reach up and over with the left hand. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, drop the left hand. Reach up and over with the right hand. You guys have no idea how hard I had to work for that. Come back up to center. No one mess it up again. Take your hands back behind you. Interlace them. Open up your chest. Let it draw you into the back bend. This should be your deepest one yet as we get a little warmer. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, hinge at the hip. Put your belly under thighs. Crown of the head towards the mat. All right, so now we're going to twist. Twist to the right first. Your right foot pushes straight. You bend into your left knee. So you feel that stretch in your right leg, right? Lift your right shoulders. You drop the left shoulders. You're twisting to the right. Open your chest to the right. There you go. Switch out your legs. Now push your left leg all the way straight. Bend into your right knee. Drop your right shoulder toward your right knee. Lift that left shoulder up to the sky. Push your left leg straight. You're back in the center. Lift those hands up one more time. And then drop them down to the mat. Back to your regular forward fold. Take a half lift to monkey here. Then as you exhale, fold back down. All right? Now from here, we're going to walk it forward. Bring yourself back in to tabletop. You can take another couple cat-cows if that feels good to you. Right? Or maybe you're just going to sway your hips from side to side. And then when you're ready, just let your hips come all the way to one side or the other. And you're going to swing your legs around in front of you. All right, so we're going to come into easy sit here. As we come to easy sit the first time, let's bring the right leg in front of the left, right? Maybe for some of you that feels like the natural thing to do. For most of you, right? If you're the oddball like me, I tend to put my left leg in front to begin with, so I have to like force myself, right leg, all right? Because we're going to do both sides here. All right, so sit up nice and tall here. And then you're going to sweep your hands up to the sky. Now, as you exhale here, you're going to drop your right hand down outside your right thigh. And what I want you to do is come all the way down to your elbow. Let your left hand come to your left knee as you drop down to your right elbow. So you're kind of pushing into that left knee with a straight arm at first. You want to remind that left sit bone, that bony bone in the back of your left glute, to stay down on the mat, right? You want it to lift up as you lean to the right. Now, if you need your block to put underneath your elbow, you can do that, right? I forgot to get one for myself. But I'm okay, I can get my elbow down to the mat, right? But if you can't use your block can be at its highest level to let you lean, right? Now, from here, you're going to take your left hand, bend into your left elbow, touch your fingertips just behind your ear, behind your left ear, right? And then from there, you're going to reach that left hand all the way over to the right. You're keeping your chest spinning open, right, so you're not collapsing down. Right, now take that left arm, sweep it across, just bring it till it's reaching straight in front of you. All right, then take it back over the left ear. With that left hip pressing to the mat. Do it 2 more times. Reach those left fingertips straight in front of you. Take them over to the right. more time, reach them straight in front of you. Take them over to the right. And then from there, you're gonna bend back into your left elbow, bring that fingertips behind your ear again, and then slide that left hand all the way over till it's pressing into your left knee or your left thigh. Push in that left leg. Draw yourself back up, push that right palm away. And then draw both hands back up to the sky, right? Lengthen out here in between. Now we're gonna do that on the other side. But before we go there, you're gonna switch your legs. So now you're gonna bring that left leg in front, right? Maybe that's more comfortable to you, maybe less, right? We wanna even out the sides. Now, drop your left hand down outside your left thigh, and then you're gonna drop to your left elbow. And again, you can use your block here. Take your right hand at first, it drops to your right knee. And you're just pushing into that right knee, pushing your right leg, or your right arm all the way straight. And you're kind of looking up over your right shoulder. And then from there, you're gonna pick up that right hand, bend into your right elbow, touch your fingertips behind your right ear. There you go. And then push that hand all the way over to the left. Your chest spinning open, keep that left elbow anchored, keep the right hip anchored, and then you're going to take that left hand, or right hand, sorry, reach it straight in front of you. And sweep it back over above your ear, reach back to the left. Do that twice more. Bring it in front of you. Take it back. One more time, reach it in front of you, and then take it back over. And from there, you're gonna push into that left palm, first bring your right hand over, I should have said that right, and then you're gonna push yourself up, sweep your hands up to the sky here, so we're just lengthening everything out. Okay. And then from there, you're gonna take your hands down, we're gonna come back to tabletop, right, so unwind your legs, back into that tabletop. Right? And then all I want you to do, once you're here on tabletop, get your shoulders over your wrists, get your hips over your knees, right? Bump your hips over to the right. And then take your gaze over your right shoulder. Or maybe you can see your hips bumping. Look over your right shoulder and see your hips. Maybe not. Now, keep your hips where they are. Take your gaze, look all the way over your left shoulder. Come back to center here with your gaze and with your hips. And let's go the other way. So now you're going to bump your hips over to the left. You're going to look over your left shoulder. And then keep your hips bumped to the left. Take your gaze all the way around over your right shoulder. Bring your gaze, your hips back to center. Now from here, bring your big toes to touch. Maybe take your knees a little wider. Now we're gonna come down into child's pose. I mean, you push your hips over your heels. Now, once you get your hips down over your heels, I want you to keep your arms up, right? You're gonna walk them forward. Let your fingertips come to the mat, but keep your elbows off the mat. Let your head drop between your shoulder blades. If you can get your head all the way to the mat, do that. You can rest it on a block if you need to. Or if it doesn't get all the way to the ground, that's okay. Right? I just want you to stay right here, 3 breaths. Those little spider hands. I'm gonna look up so I'm not talking into the floor, but your head should be dropped. Put the spider hands, elbows up, pushing your hips back as far as you can. If your hips don't touch your heels, that's okay too, right? I should have said that before. Take one more breath here. And then keep your little spider hands. Just walk your hands all the way over to the right. So your hands kind of come on either side of your right knee. Your chest kind of drapes over your right knee, pushing that left hip back toward your left heel. Doesn't matter if it touches. 2 breaths here. And you're going to walk your hands back through center. Now you're going to walk them over to the left. Hands on either side of your left knee, that torso draping over the left knee. Those spider arms going on. the center this time. Now let your palms flatten, right? And then maybe let your elbows drop to the mat. Definitely let your head come all the way to the mat or a block or a blanket. Just take a few breaths here in this regular child's pose. I'm gonna get myself a blanket so I can show you guys what we're gonna do here in a second. All right, now let yourself come back up. Right, for this part, especially if you have sensitive knees, we're coming into tabletop for the beginning. You're gonna wanna have a blanket underneath your knees, right? So get it in place now, right? So that you've got that blanket underneath your knees. Right, we're gonna step over it and we're gonna move around it. But that's right about where it should be so that it's in the right place when we get there, right? So find that and then tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back. So you're gonna come back into your down dog one more time. Right, we're not gonna stay here this time. Once you get there, bend your knees, look between your thumbs. Now bring your feet all the way to your hands. So you're stepping over your blanket, boom, and you're back in forward fold. Belly touching the thighs, crown of the head towards the mat. Take that half lift here. We're just gonna reset the back before we do this. Shoulders even with the hips. And then fold back down. Now this time, as you fold all the way down, keep your right foot forward. Now you're gonna step way back with your left knee, with your left foot, right? Now, get the blanket in place. You're gonna drop down to your left knee. You want the blanket to be underneath your left knee, right? I didn't get that quite right. See, my right foot, my right knee was pressing past my right ankle. So I'm moving my right foot forward so that I can get my right knee over my right ankle. The other thing I could do is wiggle that left knee back, but I want the left knee to stay on the blanket, right? So I'm keeping my left knee where it is and I adjusted my right foot because I want to have my right knee right over my right ankle and my left leg nice and long so that my left knee is back behind my left hip, right? Now, come up onto your fingertips just like we did before in that child's pose and then look up towards the front of the room, right? Now, from here, you're going to keep your left fingertips right where they are. Take your right hand up to the sky. Right, so you're just in this basic twisted lunge here. Chest open towards the right side of the room, shoulders stacked on top of each other. Now, drop that right hand down inside your right foot this time, right? And then from here, maybe you can bring yourself all the way down to your forearms. Take your right toes, whether you're on your palms or on your forearms, right? Turn them out to the right. Right? And then maybe you can get a little lower. You can use a block here. Mine right out of reach. I can grab it, right? Maybe my forearms come to the block. Maybe they come to the block on the highest level of the block. Right? Maybe your palms are on the block. I want you to be comfortable here. Maybe you just stayed on your palms. That's okay. You should be feeling this in both hip flexors. Now left, then we turn that right foot out slightly as we let that left leg lengthen. Take 4 more breaths here. Up to your palms, but keep those right toes turned to the right. Right? Now, here's what I'm going to do here. I gave everybody here a strap. If you're at home, right, and you can't do this and you can always use a towel, or you don't even have to do this the way that we're going to do it at all, right? But what I want everybody to do, just stand into your left knee. You want to bring that left hip, or that left heel towards your left hip. I'm going to turn around here sideways so that you can see me. So I'm here, right? My left leg, it's long, my right foot's here. Turn those right toes out to the right, my palms. I'm gonna kick my left heel towards my left glute. Right now, maybe you stay right here, right? Maybe you can take that left hand, reach back and grab a hold of your right ankle. Maybe that's not gonna happen. Maybe you use your strap, right? And you take the strap, bring the strap around your left ankle. last thing you can do while you're here, whether you're using the strap, whether you've just got that foot kicked up, or whether you're grabbing your ankle, right? You're gonna take your left shoulder, peel it up towards the sky, let your torso turn towards the left side of the room. So now I'm really feeling, I'm gonna try to move my right hand, don't laugh at me if I fall over, right through there, right? Through the inner thigh, hip flexors to the hip. Right? You don't have to go this deep, right? Maybe you keep your torso down. You say you might be right here. That's okay. One more breath. And then release that foot if you have it with the strap or with your hand. Take both hands flat. And then from there, you're gonna move your right hand to the outside of your right foot. Tuck your left toes under, come off your left knee. And then just step that left foot forward to meet the right. Come back into your forward fold. Now let yourself take that fold here. Get really deep. Really let your belly touch your thighs, bend your knees. You should feel it now, right? Everything we just did, a little bit more intensely through the left hamstring. And come to the other side. So we do this again. Go in the other way. All right, so when you're ready here, keep your right foot forward, your left foot forward, sorry. Step your right foot way back, and then drop down to your right knee. The blanket quite far enough back, so I'm gonna move it. Okay, you want the blanket in place. You want your right knee to be back behind your right hip. That's important, right? It's also important that we get the blanket under the knee. Now you guys know what's coming, so you're gonna make sure you do that this time, right? All right, bring both hands to the inside, or no, don't bring both hands to the inside left foot first. Come to the spider fingers. Sideways, you can see my spider fingers. And then take your left hand and just reach up to the side. So do that twist to the left. Shoulders back, chest open. Now you're gonna let your left hand come down. It's gonna come down inside your left foot. Take your left toes. You're gonna turn those left toes out to the left. Right? And then from there, we're gonna come down to our dragon. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is your dragon, right? Maybe you can drop down to your forearms. Maybe you're using that block. Your forearms to block. Maybe you have to stay in your palms. Wherever you are, it's good. We just want to hang out here. 5 breaths. One more breath. And then everybody's going to come back up to their palms here. All right. Now, one thing I should have said on the other side, which I didn't say, right? As you're going to bend into that right knee and bring that right heel toward your right glute, maybe before you do that, right, you kind of shift back, let your hips lift a little bit. That makes it easier then. You can bend the right knee, bring the right heel towards the right glute, reach back there with your right hand, maybe grab a hold of it, maybe you wrap that strap around it, right? And then maybe once you get it, then you can sink back down into your hips, or maybe not, right? Maybe you have to keep pushing those hips higher, and that's what makes this pose work for you, right? But that is an option. Maybe you're just taking that right foot back and you're staying right here, that's okay. Keep those left toes turned to the left. And then take 2 breaths here. Now from here, if you want to, right, you can kind of take that right shoulder and peel it up and let your torso turn towards the right side of the room. If that's not for you, you don't have to do that part. Take 3 more breaths. And then gently release that left foot, or the right foot. Bring your hands back on either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under, come off that right knee. And then step your right foot forward to meet your left. Back and up, forward fold, moving in. An intense stretch in your right hamstring as we bring it forward. Let's take 3 breaths. breaths here. Okay, one last time here. We're going to bring it back down into tabletop. All right. So again, you can use your blanket if you want to. You don't have to. Once we get all the way down to tabletop here, right, we're going to come into our cow face pose. So keep your strap handy, right? I should say that first, right? Keep your strap so that it's by your one hand or the other, right? Now, you're in your tabletop. You're going to take your left knee, take it, lift it up, switch it over the right. So now you can see, right, my knees are next to each other. The left foot is sweeping behind the right. Now I'm going to take my feet out as wide as I can here, and I'm going to let myself come back, sit down in between my heels. All right, so if I had perfect flexibility, which I don't, right, then my knees would be stacked right on top of each other and my heels would be right against my hips. I don't get quite there, but it's okay, right? We don't have to for our purposes here. Right now, if this is so uncomfortable to you that you don't even like sitting here, right, then you can always take your right foot and plant it down so you look like this, right? Or you can bring your legs around so you're back in easy sit where we were before. You just make sure that your right shin is the one in front, all right? So you decide where you want to be. Get back on my mat here, all right? And then you're either in that cow face pose or you've planted your foot on the ground, or you're in an easy sit with your right leg in front. Wherever you are, your right leg is the one on top. You guys here all look good. Now, we're gonna play with our arms a little bit, right? What we're gonna do here is we're gonna make cow face arms look like this, right? If you can touch your fingertips together, you don't need the strap. But if that doesn't happen, then let's use the strap, right? So if you don't have a strap at home, then you can just reach your fingertips. You can be like this, just get your right elbow up to the sky, and if your left fingertips don't touch, maybe your left hand's down here, right? Maybe it's up here. It's all good. If you have a towel or something, a towel works just as well as a strap. All right, you're gonna take the strap into your right hand. Now you're taking your arms out long. Take that right hand up to the sky. Pat yourself on the back, right? So now my right elbow is pointed straight up to the sky. It's gonna stay pointed straight up to the sky. Take your left hand, turn your left palm. So your left thumb is towards the ground and your left palm is towards the back of the room. Now, bend into your left elbow. What you want is for your fingertips to touch your body right by your waist, and then you just slide it up as much as you can, trying to make that connection with your fingertips. This gives you maximum range of motion, right? So maybe before, when we just tried it really quick, you weren't able to touch your fingertips, but now you can, right? You want that right elbow to point straight up to the sky. I should turn around here. See me? There I am. All right, so with the next strap, I would look like this, right? Maybe down here. If I can make my fingertips touch without the strap, what am I touching? It looks like this, right? If I don't have a strap, maybe I look like this, right? My left hand is down, just here. You want that right elbow pointed straight up to the sky, no matter what. Now what I want you to do here, start to lean forward. Lean towards your right thigh. As much as you can, right? Maybe that's not a lot. Maybe you have to take more slack on the strap while you do that. That's okay. Right? Keep your right elbow in line with the top of your head, right? So you're not dropping that right elbow down. Right? Do this. Right, so here I am, I've got my right elbow up to the sky, but sometimes when I start to lean forward, and then I go like this. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm not doing it anymore, right? If I'm gonna lean this far forward, this is where my elbow needs to be. If I want my elbow down lower, I gotta bring my chest down lower. All right, just take 2 more breaths here. And then you're gonna release your hands. If you have the strap, it's gonna come down, that's okay. Right, just release your hands. Now just bring your hands right in front of your knees or your shins if you're an easy sit. And just walk yourself maybe a little bit further forward now that you don't have those arms behind you constricting you. You'll start to feel it more in your right hip. And just take 3 or 4 breaths right here. when you're ready, walk yourself back up here. All right, now we're gonna do that all on the other side. So we came from tabletop, so we're gonna come back to tabletop. Maybe you could just roll right over your knees and then bring it back around to tabletop, or unwind your legs first and bring it back to tabletop. Right, so this time, as we get to tabletop, now you're gonna take your right knee, lift it up, bring it outside your left. So you want that left leg in front / on top. Walk your feet as far apart as you can, and then push it back. Let yourself sit down in between your heels and see how that is, right? Again, you can adjust it if it's not great. Maybe you put that left foot firmly on the ground, or maybe you come to easy sit just with your left leg in front. Right? These are all good options. All right, so we're gonna take that cow face pose at first. So if you need your strap, have it in your left hand this time. Right, this strap is almost like too long. It's like folded in half. All right, so I've got my strap in my left hand. All right, so I'm gonna take my left hand up to the sky, bend into my left elbow, so I'm just touching in between my shoulder blades with that left hand. Take the right hand is out to the side, right? Turn it, left thumb to the ground, left palm towards the back. Bend into your right elbow, bring that right hand right along your waist, and then slide it up as much as you can. Again, maybe you can make that connection with your fingertips. I can't do it on this side, right? Or maybe you just grab the strap, or maybe you're just reaching. Let that left elbow point towards the sky, and then lean forward here. Wherever you are, you're leaning towards your left thigh. Whether you're in easy sit, or you're in this full cow face, or you've got that left foot planted. Keep the left elbow in line with the top of your head. Right? It's not drooping down. It's still reaching. We're stretching out the triceps. Take 2 more breaths here. Now, release your hands here. Let that strap come down if you were using it. Take your hands straight in front of your knees or your shins now. And just walk your hands out forward here. You're going to draw your chest a little bit further forward. When you're ready, slowly walk it back up. All right, now what I want you to do here, right? We're gonna unwind again. If you can, and we're gonna come to tabletop. If you can just roll into your tabletop, then do that. If you need to come unwind your legs first, do that. But then once you're at tabletop, now I want you all to face the long edge of your mat, right? So I'm doing that now, facing the front. I'm at the long edge of my mat. You guys are gonna turn. Let's all turn to the right, because Karen, you got more space than Christy does. All right, so we're gonna come forward a little bit. All right, I'm gonna do it from right here. Now, what you're gonna do here, have your blanket, have your block handy. I should say that first, right? Make sure you don't have to reach and grab for it later. And then you're gonna take your knees out as wide as you can. All right, now, what I want, right, you guys can't see, I want my feet turned out like this. You can see them on camera, right? So my feet are turned out to the sides, my ankles are in line with my knees, right? I don't want to be here where my feet are coming in, right? They want to be going out, right? Now you can stay just like this, right? If you can, you're going to keep your hips high. They might push back a little bit, but you're not trying to push them to the ground, right? They're going to stay off the ground. But you're going to lower down to your forearms, maybe to your head, maybe to your chest, right? Here's where you can use your blanket. You can use your block as resting places for your forearms or your head. So lift your hips high and then push them towards the left side of the room. Right, so your butts are all up in the air. It's okay. Nobody's on camera with them, I promise. If you're at home, nobody can see you. If you're here, nobody's looking at you. They're all looking down. At least they should be. Take 5 breaths here. It's called frog pose. Here, You're gonna make your way first back up to your palms from wherever you are. Okay. Once you're all the way back up on your palms, then you're gonna carefully, right, bring your knees all the way back together, right? So I want your knees touching, so you're not in tabletop anymore, right? You've got those knees really close together. And we're gonna come to a passive child's pose. So your feet are flat. I'm gonna turn sideways, right? You're gonna push your hips back toward your heels, right? You're keeping, your belly's just gonna land on top of your thighs. And then once you're here, take your hands, reach them back toward your heels. Right? So your shoulders relax, they kind of come to your knees. Let your head come down if your head doesn't come all the way to the mat. Use your block. Let those shoulders kind of relax. Just about 5 breaths here. Peel it back up here into your tabletop. So you're going to lift up, let your hands get back in front of you. Draw it all the way up. Once you're all the way up here, just let your hips come down to one side or the other. Right, you guys can stay long, stay facing the right edge of your mat, right? Because you're going to take your legs out super wide, right? So you should be facing that right wall. So let your hips come to one side or the other, and then take your legs long. So that way you can sit on your mat, right? But your feet are still on your mat. I'm going to do it so you guys can all see me. Right, so I'm still sitting on my mat. My feet are still on my mat. Right, and then sit up tall here. Like there's a string on top of your head, pulling you up to the ceiling. And then allow yourself to walk forward here. So you're keeping your back nice and flat. Don't try to tuck your chin to your chest. Don't try to get your head down. Just walk your hands forward. Now if you use your block here, like to sometimes, just have it, right? You can put your hands on the block. It allows you to keep that connection with the earth, but get your hands and your chest a little further forward so you intensify the stretch. You can do that if you want to. Okay? If you're pretty flexible, you can use the block as a landing place for your head. Right? If I take the block to a highest level on a good day, I can get there. Right? My back is still completely flat. The crown of my head is still going to be pointed towards the right side of the room, but I can get my forehead to the block. I still have that flat back, but I'm resting my head. Right? My arms aren't resting, they're still reaching forward. But if I pull them in and drop them, then I'm kind of rounding out, right? So you decide what's more comfortable for you. If you'd rather have the block under your hands, or if you'd rather just have your hands on the mat while you do this, that's fine too. You're gonna feel this as a stretch in your inner thighs. Just take 4 more breaths here. Slowly walk yourself back up. And then from here, bring your legs together. Now we're going to swing around, right? So that you're going to bend into your knees so your feet are at the top of your mat. Take your arms out long. Tuck your chin to your chest now. So you are going to round out, right? Let yourself round. So you're coming down to the mat. You're coming one vertebrae at a time. Bring all the way down. Take your hands to your sides, palms face down. Walk your heels a little bit closer to your glutes. Press through all 4 corners of both feet and lift your hips up to the sky. Right now from here, maybe you take a block and let it slide under your hips. If you're in a yin mood, right, that's the way to go. If you want to keep it a little more active, just engage your legs. Use that strength in your legs. Push your hips high. Increase the flexibility of your back. shoulders are slightly tucked, so your chest is puffing open towards the ceiling. Take 3 breaths here. And let our hips slowly flip back down to the mat. Once our hips get all the way back down to the mat, now we're going to take our legs straight up to the sky and come into waterfall. So you're going to flex your feet, pushing the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. Now, you can use a block here if you want to, right? It can be underneath your hips again. Maybe you have to get out, right, for an elevated waterfall. It makes it slightly more intense because you're elevating your hips. Right, so if you like this, stay here. If you like your hips flat on the ground, keep your hips flat on the ground. Up to you. Feet should be flexed out like they're going to step on the ceiling. Sending the blood from your feet where it cooled all day back to your head and your heart where you need it more. Now when we're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. You're going to bend your knees, let them scrape along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. Your feet come back down to the mat. You still have a block under there. You're going to lift your hips up, slide that block out from underneath you. Everybody's hips should be flat to the ground, right? And then we're going to roll our hips forward. So you feel that sacrum, the low part of your back, pressing into the mat. But you don't want to roll so far forward that your back starts to arch, right? See here, I can slide my whole hands underneath my back. I don't want that, right? But I want that sacrum pressing into the mat. Now, with that going on, right, no arch in the back, sacrum pressing into the mat, lift your feet up to the sky, right? They're probably slightly in front of your hips, right? Because if you pull them all the way up over your hips, then your tailbone's going to lift the other way, right? Your tailbone's going to lift off the mat. We want that tailbone pressing into the mat, right? So you're going to find that. Now, separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot, right? So now we're going to reach up with the same hand for the same foot. So it's like what we did earlier when we were doing that half happy baby. This is the full happy baby, right? Maybe you can grab the inside or outside soles of both feet with your hands. Maybe you're just grabbing your heel, your ankle, your shin. Wherever you make that connection here, it's okay, right? The key is to keep that sacrum, the low part of the back, pressing to the ground. You can add that rock from side to side. We'll spinal massage. It should feel good. If it doesn't, just skip it and stay still. If you feel like you'd rather change your leg position now, you can still do that, right? Maybe your legs come wider or straighter, they bend more, they come in more. Just find somewhere where it feels really delicious to you. Let yourself have that gift for another 3 or 4 breaths. All right, now from here, take your knees and move all the way in to your chest. Let your arms grow long, like wings in T position. And then as you exhale, now you're going to drop both knees to the right. Take your chin and your gaze to the left. If you want to make it more, you can take your right hand and press down on those knees. If you have space, you extend your legs toward your right fingertips. But you're going to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. From here, you're going to bring those knees back to center. This time as you exhale, drop your knees to the left. You chin your gaze to the right. Same thing here. We press down on those knees with your left hand. You extend your legs towards left fingertips. You just stay where you are. Keep that right shoulder anchored. Now from here, you're going to pull your knees back up to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And let's set up for our final pose, Arshvasana. Let your legs extend long here. Take your hands to your sides. That's your traditional Shavasana. You're flat on your back. If that's not comfortable to you, stay there. Other options, bend your knees, butterfly your legs, roll to your belly or to your side. Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay perfectly still. Most importantly, where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Allow yourself to release complete control. attention to it. Just release that control. Keep following it. Let it guide you. And you can master that. Your breath will take you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. And that's your true quiet of mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation. Come to the quiet mind. You want to here, you take your arms overhead. A nice full, deep body stretch. And from there, just let yourself roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a few breaths there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sound of the room come back to you. As long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated. We'll close here. So let's close just with 2 Bhamari breaths and then an Om. Right, the Bhamari breaths, we inhale, as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. The Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths or you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. Inhale one final time and Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, I will see you guys all on Saturday for Slow Flow. So come join me for that. Who's here tomorrow? Kelly's here tomorrow morning for a little dance fit, so you can join her. And Liza's here on Friday morning with Pilates Bar. So. Oh yeah, Angie, yes, thank you for reminding me, Karen. Angie will be here tomorrow at 10 with some yin if you missed the yin tonight, because we did gentle since you missed it Monday night, but there's plenty of chances to get it all in this week. So join Angie tomorrow, join Kelly tomorrow, and I'll see you guys Saturday.